Hey everybody, welcome to another round of Canje Plays. So, we're continuing with our adventure of Earthborne Rangers. And I just read Yogi's comment and I'm sad. Alright, signing off. Keeping it sexy. Well, if anything, the game will that game lets you know that there is a game for everyone. Time for adventure. Hey Steve, what's going on? Hey Yogi, welcome everybody. We're gonna continue our adventure on day 18 and 19 of Earthborne Rangers. Time to serenade Oru. Oru gets nothing but happy scritches. So my goodness, I'm scatterbrained today. We're going to get in with our playthrough. We're using one ranger. I wish I could use more than one. I'm not that good, so we'll see how it goes. I know other channels are using more than one ranger, so you get to see them there. Locator Gaming is he's a pro at this game, and he does really well at explaining it. So hey Matt, what's going on? Joaquin, hey, I've been enjoying your playthroughs. I'm not all caught up, but happy to finally be able to watch live. Welcome. Pull up a chair. There is always room for all of you at the table. So alrighty. Before I begin, I want to say thank you to my patrons, YouTube subscribers, and if you're neither, never want to be, you just want to come in and hang out for a little bit, you're more than welcome as well. There's always room at the table for everybody to hang out. So let's continue on with our adventure. It's 9 a.m. here, so we'll see how it goes. Hey Doug, how's it going? All right, down on the table. Okay. Where did we last leave off? Well, I don't know. Let's see. First, I have to find my mouse that keeps flying off the screen because I got the sensitivity too high. So, we ended up, we're on day 18. 16 and 17 did not go well. Not well, but I hope you enjoy that. Hey, Elaine, what's going on? So we have one more day before we have to tune into KISS 94.9 FM. We're starting off on the plummet, and with the ravine terrain. I called my Shepherd Conciliator Guardian, Valen. So we've done a couple things. We've taken care of the reclaimer problem so far, and in doing so, we lost someone. Sad face. Ale was lost. So, but other than that, we've done good stuff. We've rescued another ranger who we saved Canje yesterday, which wasn't too bad. So Ale's gone. We've befriended the old bloody clicker, and Quiet's our buddy. All right, so you're all caught up. Let's continue on with the game. Okay, so we're at the plummet, and for people who have not caught up or didn't tune in to the previous, the plummet is here. And it is a plummet. It is a huge sheer rockfall cliff fall off that looks beautiful. You can see stuff, and it has a zip line on it, which I'm super pumped about. So that's what story 19 will read. I'll leave that for you, as Rodney would say, I'll leave that for you to discover on your own, or when we get to a new location. So the lead ranger is going to draw a path card. And the plummet. That's that lovely zip line that has a spirit with brace for 3 and move your token to this response. When you travel, if all your tokens are on this location, you may travel to a location up to 2 paths away. Use the terrain of the second path when building the path deck. Well, 2 paths away is Lone Tree Station, where we want to get to. So this is going to be great. And we'll try not to plummet. Waha. It's early. Give me this. So we have our one journey that says to go to Lone Tree Station, and our new weather condition, it's not new, but our weather condition for this playthrough in its entirety is going to be howling winds, where we're going to shuffle in the cyclone into the deck, and horrible things will happen to us. So on refresh, if there are 3 per ranger tokens, wind tokens, or more wind on the card, remove them. The lead ranger draws 1 additional path card next round, and then flip this card to its other side. And sunlight, which we drew every time that fatigue this out, is going to add wind to the card. So cool. So this is the lovely cyclone, and I'm just kind of showing for startup. So it's got 3 strength on it. Basically, if you do an awareness check to evade, you can reduce the strength of the cyclone, and when there's no more strength on it, it goes away. But it moves stuff around the board, so it'll move anything that's along the way to within reach, and if it flies within reach, it fatigues us. Yay. All right, so let's shuffle it up. We need to get that. We need 3. Lovely. Count them, 3 people from the valley because it's not a pivotal location. And then the entire ravine deck, which is here, will get shuffled in. So it's... And then we'll shuffle these up. Give these ye old truffle shuffle. All right, so it just says the starting ranger draws a path card at arrival setup. It is a triptafolium. So soothing fatigue and helping us draw a card. It has no presence, so it's all good. All right, let's do our start in hand. Oh, and another thing, thank you so much, Pontus, for finding that out. The only time I suffer a malady is if my day ends or a lingering injury is if my day ends based on having 3 injuries. That's the only time I draw it. Otherwise, I'm making the game harder for myself, as I tend to do. So thank you so much, Pontus, for pointing that out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Will it be a good day? Artel's Rod, quiet. Oru, trash. 1, 2, 3. Come on, Pakoda. Damn it. But quiet and Oru is actually not bad. That's actually a not bad startup. That's better than I've had. That's better than the last time where I only had 1 pet that immediately died. So that's actually not a... Yogi, is this how it kind of is for you with Arkham Horror, where you know what you're looking for, so when you draw it, if you're like, yeah, it's not that, trash it. All right, we got to draw our path card. It is some bats. I have a good feeling about the day. I hope you do. Our goal is Lone Tree Station. So we got some Night to Bats. There's 2 bats on here. X is the equal to the number of bats on the card. So we have quiet, so we're good. All right, so let's begin our setup. Well, we're going to use all 3 of our fitness to get all this down. So we'll put quiet down, and we'll put the Artel Rod down. Artel Vaulting Rod. We'll spend both of our to get Oru down, Spirit, and we will use our exhaust our ability to turn this presence to 0 so quiet can kill it. And then we could set up for the progress buildup too. Attached to a location or feature, the attached location gains the trail trait. So I could put it on a location, and every single time I make progress, I'll add an additional progress, which I probably will need. This one attached to a path card reduce. I'm saving this one for that stupid cyclone. That's what that's for. But we've got travel potential, just can't do it right now. And trying to say, okay, well, let's draw a card is a actual waste of time. So, and there's nothing to exhaust. This guy's not really bothering me at all. So let's call that. Good first round. Ready everything up. Draw a card. Pakodo. Dang it. What do we got? Hey, the Fundamentalist. Let's talk with the Fundamentalist and see what he has to say. He, she, they. Let's not be they have to say. Fundamentalist is 86. If you're at the bowl of the sun, I am not. So there's something at the bowl of the sun for this person that we need to find. So clear the fundamentalist to ask him about his way of life. So we've read this one before where he talks about just kind of being chill, not worrying about stuff. So we're good. And that's what we just drew. So we're going to do Oru to move you up here and give you 2 progress. Then we are going to traverse. So I can make this a 5-on-3, which I will do. 3. Oh, wait, I got to do the spirit thing first. I got to do the spirit thing first, don't I? Okay. I got to do the spirit thing first. So I'm going to make this... Actually, it actually doesn't matter. Let's get the numbers. So we're going to do a 5-on-3. Shuffle this up. The fundamentalist abides. I should make it a 4-on-3 and get the double. Ooh, no, because then it would be a 3-on-3 because I'd have to spend 1 to play that card. So, nah, we'll make it a 5-on-3. 5-on-3. Here we go. It's gonna be sun. Just let y'all know that. Ooh, that's a 6er. Oh, that works. That's a beautiful card. What do you got? You've got nothing. If this being has 1 or more damage, harm, remove 1 harm from this being. Cool. If there's an active prey, there is not. So cool. That actually wasn't a bad card. So we'll clear that. We have enough to leave, but we're not leaving without getting on that zip line. So we're going to try to get on that zip line. And we're going to go all in on this one. We're going to make it a 4-on-3. 4-on-3 to get on the zip line. 5. Yes. We're on the zip line. Sunlight. Add 2 wind to this card. It's a nice passing wind. No other sunlight. And shall we, oh, I don't know, travel? Yes, we shall. So we're going to travel. Oh, beautiful. Okay, so we're going to travel. And this says that we could travel up to 2 spaces away. So 1, 2 to Lone Tree Station. Yay. Hooah! All right, so first thing we do, clean up. And we are using the forest deck, so let's get all the ravine stuff out. Cyclone's still there. Every time I look for this woman. Every time. Alright, so forest, right? Woods. I actually don't mind the woods deck so much. So we need to do that. We need to build up what we need to build up. Oh, nope, not until we get there. We gotta do our setup. 1, 2, 3. All right. Okay. So we arrive there. When we arrive, read 1.50. And we arrived, because we done this. We got the March of Rebirth, so we're at Lone Tree Station. Arrive at Lone Tree Station. You stagger into the cooling shade of Lone Tree Station's branches and collapse. Sure, you'll never hike another mile again. You close your eyes, thankful for the shade, and rest. After a few minutes, what happened there? You feel someone press a cold flask into your hands. Without looking, you take a welcome swig out of the icy water, and as it soothes your parched throat, you open your eyes to see Elder Thrush standing over you. She nods solemnly. Welcome back, she says. It's good to see you. You look around and realize that you must have fallen asleep. Scores, maybe even hundreds of people are gathering around Lone Tree Station, and even as you watch, the Swift banks high overhead. The Swift banks high overhead and comes into dock at the mast atop the station. Thrush follows your gaze. People are coming from all over the valley. Everyone has the same report. The reclaimers are gone, and even as we speak, those that aren't are being hunted by villagers and ranger alike. She looks back at you, and you see a small smile crack her normally imperceptible features. The valley is safe. Complete the journey, Lone Tree Station mission. Save. Completed. All our missions are done. Okay. Read the following text. Read the text following each entry that you have in the campaign tracker. Okay, so do we have reclaimers washed away? Remove the reclaimers. I think we do. We have washed away. I think that's it. Oh boy. Okay, I think we have reclaimers washed away. The silverfin will run heavy and thick with silt for days to come, but the important thing is the reclaimers seem to have been flushed from their nest in the alluvial ruins. Their corpses swept over tumbledown. Yeah, I was under events. Oh, notable events. Yep, thank you. Notable events. Reclaimers washed away. Thank you. The silverfin will run heavy and thick with silt for days to come, but the important thing is the reclaimers have seemed to have been flush from their nest in the alluvial ruins. Their corpses swept over tumbledown falls and into the Verdessa. Their nests destroyed and the rest being hunted. There seems no way the reclaimers can mass to such threatening numbers again. We have Ale lost. As you wander through the crowd, you spot Dace, her eyes red-rimmed with grief. She looks at you with a mix of anger and sadness. You don't have to say anything. I know he didn't make it. She looks like she's going to say something else, then turns away. I don't have Ale redeemed. Reclaimers consumed. Don't have that. Cassende lost. Nope, we saved Cassende. Cassende almost smiled. I just have saved Cassende. Spire fallen. Nope. Stood up to call. Nope. Impressed. Nope. Missed it. So much content. Continue reading. That evening, you all sit down to a hearty feast prepared by nothing other than high pimpot. In this moment, there is no tragedy, no fear, no problems. In this moment, there is only you, your friends and neighbors, sharing food and drink together, enjoying the bounty of life. Tomorrow is another day, but until it comes, you know you can ignore it. There will always be work to be done. There will always be people in need. But in this moment, you can relax, knowing you fulfilled your oath to the valley and its people. Your ancestors smile upon you, and in this moment, you are content. The story of the Reclaimers is complete. Continue playing to discover all that you may have missed and gain the Valley Secrets mission. This is the end of day. Did we just beat the game? Let's see. We got a new mission, the Valley Secrets. Wow. I had a good... don't make me reshuffle my hand. I had a good hand. Anyway, here's our end of day. So we'll gain the Valley Secrets mission. I think we beat the game. Huh. Hey, Jess. Interesting. I don't think they said you need. So yeah. Wow. All right. Well, let's take a look at this card and see what's up. Wow. Yeah, that would okay. Okay. What do we want to do? All right. Well, we got to end the day. So it says end of day. So this day, I don't know if that means camping. Probably not. So we traveled to Lone Tree Station. Oops, sorry. Traveled to Lone Tree Station. And we're using the woods deck. And travel. And then end of day. So I should have read 94.9. So let's see if that's something that just gets skipped now. Probably. If you've completed Rescue Canje, I did. You woke up to a shout from the trail. Zeke Saul is at the edge of your camp on his stilt horse. When he sees you, he tosses a bundle to you. Glad to hand that off, Canje says. Thanks. Then he takes off. You unwrap the oiled paper to find it full of greasy hydroworm jerky. The smell is pungent, but you're pretty sure she meant it as a sincere gift. Each ranger gains 1 energy in an aspect of their choice only for the first round. That's it? Yeah, so that's that. So yeah, that's the thing. So we'll just gain an extra energy. Of course, you know I'm going to put it on that. We haven't even built the freaking thing yet. All right. Cool. So we're on the 19th. Anyway, let's take a look at the quest. With the reclaimers gone from the valley, you can return to helping the inhabitants. When each of these following entries are written on your campaign tracker, read 1.33. Okay, so this is the pickup quest. Yeah, that's what it is. This is the pickup quest. So this is gain all the achievements that you didn't. This is the achievement thing. You've beaten the game, credits have rolled, and now you're just kind of like, remember that thing you didn't do? Go do that. Go do that. We have witnessed the masterpiece. We got a few of these already. We got find the perfect hit. Blah blah blah. All right, so let's play day 19. Wow, we beat the game. So the day ends, which means I got to clean all this up. And what's the weather like? We still have that crappy weather. So we got to clean all this up. This should come off. I should be allowed to get my pets back, damn it. Yeah, it was a good game. 19 days to beat it. So the story of it is the story of the Reclaimers. Once you beat that, game over. Game over, man. Game over. Interesting. Okay, we beat the game. All right, let's dark around on the last day and see what happens. I was like, oh, I had the whole week planned out of just playing this, but what we'll do today, I didn't know this was going to happen, but I told you I had a good feeling. You're right, Matt, you're right. So I think what we're gonna do is we'll play through day 19 and then we'll do a review of the game. I'll give my thoughts and impressions on it so far now that we've played it all the way through, what my expectations are for future endeavors of this going forward. And then we'll, there's more story to play. I plan to take this to a Game of Palooza so that Steve and I can play it. So there's more story to follow. And there's a lot of things I still haven't found the damn canoe. So it's somewhere. It's somewhere. But yeah, beat the game. I didn't even visit. So when people anyway, I'll talk about it at the review at the end. Let's go through let's go through a day. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. What do we got? Riri, Pakoto. Who? Nope, let's ditch it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep, here comes the garbage hand. When I had a good hand, finally. Ugh. A few people were asking me what's the replayability on this game. There you go. I haven't traveled. I haven't seen. We'll talk about it in a review. Let's finish the day. Oh, I gotta reshuffle this too. All right. What are we reading? We are reading story number 2. Lone Tree Station, visible for miles around. Lone Tree is a single, enormous giga redwood rising out of the thick grass of a high prairie. From far away, the tree is all you can see, but as you come closer, you can see that the rest of the station, the large box garden plots hanging from the branches, the airship Swift moored to its docks in the tree's crown, the doors and windows carved into the trunk and peeking out from among the roots. Lone Tree Station has been the base of operations for the Rangers ever since the people came to the valley, and ever since you became a Ranger. It's been your home. All right, so search the deck for the next Predator and discard it. Look at that. Predator. Discarded. And then draw a path card. Look at that. A Predator. And me without quiet. In this grand, this is exactly what I wanted to happen. Alright, so then we still need to draw our card because we started the day. A Sitka Buck. Cool. Well, let's start this party right. 2. Yeah. 1. And that's it. I'm looking to find the people in there, so we're just gonna have a relaxed play now that we know the story. Draw a card ready. Up. Draw a path card. Overgrown thicket. That's exactly what I needed. 2. I am going to try to befriend my lovely Pakoto for a 2-on-1. 1, so that does pass. It says I'm still in the air. So that's a 1. Crest. Crest. If there is an active Sitka Buck, suffer an injury. Nope. If you have 3 or more fatigue, exhaustion. Nope. So cool. Not a bad card to get. Then that's it. I'm just gonna flood this place. Let's see what happens. Yeah, let's see what happens. I'm just gonna flood this place up because the air's quiet. Another overgrown thicket. Fabulous. Well, we're gonna play quiet for 2. Then we're gonna exhaust this ability to turn your presence to 0, using quiet to stab your face and kill you. Then we're gonna hit the buck for 1. Okay, so now we could do stuff. Let's see about getting rid of you. So we'll need traversing. Let's spend this 1 to put trail markers on you. And then we are going to do an awareness test of a 2-on-1 to see how this goes. 2-on-1 awareness test. +1, that's 3. So it said add progress to this feature equal to your effort. Cleared. That was a waste of trail markers. We'll put 2 on here. If there's another active Sitka buck, there is not. Then we will charm our lovely, lovely pet Picoto for a 2-on-1. 2-on-1, 3. Sweet, that puts me at 4. Mountain. Nope. Discard 1 progress from this feature. Nope. If there's an active predator, nope. Such a happy, happy place. Okay. Oh, and this was supposed to go back to 1. So there we go. 2, 3, because we didn't use it, and that's okay. That's all right. Let's draw a card. Another quiet. Ranger Cash. Oh, yeah. Ready these up. Now that I have quiet, I mean I'm good. So let's do that. Do that. Get rid of you. Let's do our awareness test on a 2-on-1 on that. Oh, well, 2-on-2, sorry. Let's boost the Uriri for a 3. 3-on-2. 3-on-2, awareness. -1, 2, perfect. Put this on here, which clears it. Each ranger shuffles 2 cards from their ranger discard into their deck. I remember the rules is it's not what's committed. So I only get the 1 card back. Riri still gets discarded. This gets cleared. And you will get a 4 on you. We will... Whatever's going to happen there is going to happen, so we're going to connect some more with Picoto for a 2-on-1. 2-on-1. That's 2. That puts us to 6. Cress, no body. Oops, sorry, wrong card. There we go. No, Quiet should not have 2 harm on him, Matt. The reason being is because Andrew Navarro actually taught me this trick. If you notice my ranger ability, it says reduce a being's presence to 0 until the end of the turn. Quiet's, and that's why it's my ability's tapped. Quiet's build thing says Quiet only suffers harm equal to that being's presence, which is 0. So it basically makes Quiet invulnerable. Yeah, it's a nice little thing that's there. Yeah, he was like, you could do that. I did not know I could do that. So then we're gonna traverse this for a 3-on-1. 3-on-1. 4-on-1. So that puts us as more progress that we need to get rid of that. Sunlight pops out though, so this is gonna go to 6. Oh yeah, that's gonna be fun. It's gonna happen anyway, so let's let it happen. All right, so I think we're solid. We just need to find Oru and we're good. And we're gonna draw an additional card coming up. So let's shuffle that. Ready up everything. Gain our stuff back. Draw a card. Trail markers. And because of this, it says remove all. The lead ranger draws 1 additional path card next round and flip this card to Thunderhead. And when it refreshes, bad things happen. So first one up. Cool. Next one, Sunberry Brambles. I love that they don't have ambush on them. I really do. And our ability goes back. And then guess what we get to do? Our ability to turn this presence to 0 to hit you for 3. And Riri hits you for 1. And you're dead. We're going to find whatever allies are in that deck. Yeah, and we don't care what happens there. We're fine. So we are going to actually, we're going to do our, what do you call it? The thing. We're going to do the thing. We're going to traverse 3-on-1. 3 on 1 traverse. That does it. So that puts this at a 3 since that's a 0. 3 progress. It's cleared. Remove one progress from each card, so you'll go down to 5. And that's all that happens. Then this is like so much fun when you get used to it. You get in this flow. You do this, do this, do this, do this. So Pakoto's okay until Oru comes out for right now. So let's just rest up. Draw a ready everybody. Draw a card. Surveyed lands. This will refresh and flip back over. Then we're gonna draw this, which is the caustic mulcher. It's a being. Now we can see what we could do about that. There's a thing to get the caustic, like a quest for the caustic mulcher, but we're not fighting with that thing. So what we're gonna do is, and I get this back, sorry. What we're gonna do is we're gonna do this to do that to hit you, put 3 harm on you. You are not in, he can't attack it because it's not in the same area, sadly. But I don't want to commune with it. I want to put it down. So you can put 2 progress on it, but what's the point? None of my aid cards are out. So let's fill this board up. We're gonna chill. Draw a card. Haha, there he is. And draw another card, which is the Cyclone. So where are these valley people? Really? All right. Okay, so we're going to spend 2 to play Oru. We'd ready up our ability. Exhaust it to 0. Quiet's going to hit you again for 3, which will take you out. That's 6. I don't have the card that shuts that thing down. But we can do the awareness test. It's not going to hurt us. Well, it could. It could actually hurt us. Oh, let's do that. We're going to do the awareness test. That's a 4 on 2. Let's completely kill this thing. We're going to make it a 5 on 2. So 1, 2, 3 into 5 on 2. 5 on 2. Wow. Wow. That is the worst card to draw. 5 on 2 knocks it down to a 3, which is successful. However, it's for every 2 effort. So this only takes 1 off of the Cyclone. That was wasted. Wow. And you would get, actually from the 2 here, 2 suns, you should have had 4 on you. All right. That was a thing that occurred. Wow, that sucked. All right, well, it is what it is. Ready up. I'm looking for my card because that could have helped and it did not. Scuttler Tunnel. And we've got a Sitka Buck. And our ability readies. Turn it to 0. Scratch. You're dead. Then wow, that was something. That was a thing that occurred. We're gonna spend 1 to put the surveyed land on that feature. We're going to then, and it's an aid card, we're gonna then do this to spend that to make that a 2. So it completely negates, there you go, it reduces his presence by 2. I'm supposed to, that's 1 to an aid card and 2 to something. We usually put it on the bird. So let's do that. And we're good. We can leave, but no. You're going to give me the freaking valley stuff that's in there. So, let's just have some fun with it. Ready up. So go to 2. Draw a card. Healing touch. Another Sitka Bach. Oh, nope. I'm supposed to draw 2. And a Sitka Doe. It's a deer. It's a female deer. Yep, let's do that. Do that. Bye. And then you will actually hit this one for 1. I really don't need to. We can actually get rid of it now. We'll do this to move you up to put 2 on you. And then this, knocking this down to 3. Putting this to 3. And then getting rid of you. Did I shuffle Valley cards in this deck? Like, what are... Yeah, I did. There's 1 Valley card. I have one that showed up. So... Cool. We're gonna find your daughter and drag her along with us until we find you. So let's keep it rolling. I'm not leaving here until I find what I'm looking for. Picoto. Flip this back over. Draw 1. The Fundamentalist. Yeah, I really don't care about you. So let's do you for 2. You goes to 2, goes to 4, clears. Clear. So let's see what you've got to say now that you've been cleared. 86. Nope, we're not in an invasion, so we go here. What's he gonna help me do? Oh, he helps me hurt stuff. Nah. He can go. You are not the person I'm looking for. What do we got? Like 2 cards left in the deck. All right, let's prepare to travel. So we'll do 2, 3, and we're gonna spend 1 to put trail markers there, and then we'll make it a 4. So it's gonna be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 on 3. 6 on 3. Yep, that passes. Mountain. Move this feature. If you move it to an area with no other cards, add 1 strength to it. So it moves here. Cool. Cool. Oh, and 1 extra one would have gone on there because of trail markers. So there you go, 7. But we're not ready to leave yet. Nope. Not even a little bit. So we'll draw a card. Surveyed land. Sunbury Brambles. All right. Get this back. Ready up. Cool. So Sunbury Brambles, we're going to... I can actually make it a 0 by putting that on there. Its presence is 0. Yeah, why the heck not? We're going to spend 1 to put this on here to make its presence a 0 because it's a feature. And we're not going to do anything. I want that last card before I leave. So let's do this. Ready up. Draw a card. I can't believe I haven't found any of my aid cards. There you are. Tala the Red Exile. We've never talked to her. So let's see what she has to say. I have to go through the entire deck. 84. If you found Tala, nope. All right, so you don't know everyone in the valley, but the moment you spot the woman walking towards you, you can tell she's not a local. It's not just the heavy furs and well-used ice axe hanging from her belt. The tightness around her eyes and mouth express discomfort with everything around her. You greet her, and she stares at you warily. I'm Tala the Red, she finally replies reluctantly, formerly of Ice Clans to the north. Okay. So she comes into play. We're going to immediately clear her. So she comes into play. We do this. Boom. That. Taking this down to 1. Taking this up to 5. Clear her. So we clear her. All right. So what you want? What you want. So we are at a pivotal location, which is Lone Tree Station. Oh my god, I forgot to use Lone Tree Station's deck. It's alright. It's alright. I forgot to use Lone Tree Station's deck. I was using the friendlies. I was just too excited to see what happened. I mean, we beat the game. We are at Lone Tree Station's pivotal location. Branch, no. Meadow, no. Spire, no. Tumbledown, no. White Sky, no. So we're not at either of those, because it says if you're at a pivotal location, the Lone Tree Station isn't here. And Lone Tree Station is a pivotal location. Whoopsie. You know a little about the Ice Clans. They said to live in... You'll just have to start from the beginning. I know, right? I can reshuffle all of this and start. It's fine. It actually is. But nah, we'll finish out the day and then call it. So you know a little bit about the clans. They've set to live in massive palaces in the coldest parts of mountains. You ask Tala why she is formerly from the Ice Clan, and she glares and looks away. It's because I got exiled, she says. Now I'm looking for a place to live. You got a problem with me living in your precious valley? Oh, I mean, if you're going to say it like that, you jerk. I do. Get out. It was a pivotal location, and I don't care. Oh, because there's more of them there. That's why. I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're not going to help her. Let's see what we're going to do. We already beat the game, right? So let's just replay the day. Because why the hell not? Why the heck not? Woods, Lone Tree Station. This is just us having fun at this point. Hey, Jen. Hey, Jen. What's going on? What's going on? Whoops. Whoopsie. Oh, I gotta put the cyclone in too. Are you a woods location? Yeah, you're a woods location. You gotta go in there as well. Because we could have traveled away. We were just having some fun. Shovel this up. Shuffle this up. Why the heck not? Canje, you're playing it wrong. God, why can't you play a game right? I don't know. Do 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 do. Da 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 da. All right. So, oh my gosh. Okay, look at that. Brand new day 19. I'll probably put a marker in here to say, yeah. Day 19 part 1. This will be super fast because I want to get through it and then get to the review. I don't even think we've played an hour. Shortest playthrough ever. All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have to search the path back for a predator and discard it. Prey. Nope. Okay. Then we draw a path card. Topside mast. Ooh, what does this thing do? This is new. Topside mast is 42. When it enters play, it is a feature. High atop Lone Tree Station, you'll find a series of circular platforms of polished wood and forged carbon. During your training on clear, windless days, these platforms serve as a refuge. You would often spend your free time in the afternoons bathing there in the sun, sitting in quiet contemplation and looking out over the mirrored surface of White Sky Lake. You'd also look wistfully at the airship known as the Swift, its hull gleaming in the sun, as Benamon would climb aboard and launch it into the air. The legs of the vehicle would compress and then extend with a sudden movement, propelling it upwards with tremendous force. Then once it reached its apex, its wings would unfurl and the glider would soundlessly soar towards the horizon, steadily descending as it flew towards its destination. Calypso told you and the other initiates that it was prone to roll and crash in inclement weather, and if you flew at any great distances, its energy cells would drain and the Swift would grow inert, unable to launch for days before the cells recharged. All this was clearly meant to dissuade you from taking the Swift out on your own, but when you look at the airship, you can't help but feel a surge of excitement. To soar high above the valley would surely be exhilarating, if not a little terrifying. Now that you're a full-fledged ranger, perhaps you can convince the crew to take you for a ride. Clear it to see what clear topside mast with putting your token to take the Swift for a ride. Who wants to steal an airship? I just started watching everyone's coverage of this yesterday. Just need... Oh, jumped. Sorry. I got to pull this up. What? I just started watching everyone's coverage of this yesterday. Just need for that student loan money to come in so I can get on board. It's a good game, Jen. I think you'd like it. If you stay a while, Derek will get to his review. Yep. After I finish this day, like I'm just going to go through and see what I could find. I'm going to do the review because we beat the game. If you stay a while, Derek will get to his review and let you know if it's worth spending any money on, while all his chums already pre-ordered it. Quiet, Pakoto. Ditch the rest. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oru. Oh, if you gave me Riri, I was going to be like, this game's done. I thought I saw Riri in there. Like, this game's done. And it says, I'll show you this card so we can zoom into it. So if the weather is inclement, which it is, you cannot interact with this feature. Cool. All right. Then we have to draw a path card as per this. Lead Ranger draws path card. Caustic Mulcher, best thing to come out. Then we draw our hand, and we have to draw another path card, which is a Sitka Bach. Okay, we've got Oru coming out for 2. We've got Quiet coming out for 2. We're going to exhaust this to turn that to 0 to kill the Sitka Bach. We're going to exhaust this to move you here, put 2 progress on you. I'm going to be moving really fast, so please forgive me. And that's it. I don't understand. I don't understand. I don't understand the issue. So then we'll do that. Draw a card. Another Oru. Get that back. Yeah, I don't understand the problem. She says that there's a problem, but I don't get it. Here's Cordo. Cordo comes out with 44. If you haven't received either the accommodation or intervention mission, I don't think I've gotten either. Notable. Oh, the mission. Yeah, nope. All right, time to deal with this jerk. Through the brush you hear 2 people arguing at each other. One you immediately recognize as Cordo Haverson, but it takes a moment before you recognize the other as Spirit Speaker Null. You don't think you've heard her raise her voice before. You push forward and come across the two of them in the midst of a heated debate. Cordo's face is flushed and Null has her arms crossed and is glaring. Although you're not sure what's going on, you feel like you should step in. If Null is not in play, search the path deck for her and put her into play. Okay. In the same area as Cordo, do not read her normal entry. Go to this one. So she pops out. You get between Null and Cordo and ask them what they're arguing about. Cordo huffs, then Null rolls her eyes and turns to you. We've been debating this since Cordo and I first met, actually, she says. It's a question of our role here, both as rangers and inhabitants of this valley. Don't make it too dramatic, Cordo grumbles. I just think that if we're going to be proper stewards here, it's up to us to clean up our ancestors' mistakes. Biomelds aren't mistakes, Nal shouts back. They may have been created for a purpose thousands of years ago, but in the time since they've evolved and become part of the ecosystem. They reproduce, they coexist, just like any other being. Oh, you think that because that caustic mulcher that has been lumbering around, I actually got it right here. The wooded areas of the valley is coexisting with everything else? Corda looks at you. Maybe you can settle this. Nal thinks that big sticky-tongued, acid-drooling eating machine is part of the environment. I, on the other hand, think that it's been eating its way through the rest of the ecosystem and it's time to stop it. What do you think? He reaches into the pocket and pulls out a ball of cloth. You catch it and open it to find that it's actually a long and lethal-looking gauze blade. Gain the gauze blade reward. Hey, look at that. So he just kind of just gives it to us. Is he trying to bribe? I don't like him anyway. So we got the gauze blade. All right. So we'll take a look at that. Null sighs. Well, it's important to be able to identify yourself to it just like any other being, she says. The caustic mulcher, like the other biomelds around here, is an important part of the ecosystem. I haven't observed a drastic decrease in animal populations. Have you, Cordo? If the mulcher was a mistake, nature would have corrected it by now. It doesn't eat everything, only what it must. Cordo grunts. You've already told me your plan to prove it, coating yourself in leaf paste and seeing if the mulcher will eat you or spit you out. Sounds like a terrible idea. If I'm right, Null says, then the mulcher won't eat living plants or something that tastes like one. It's not cutting a swath through the forest, it's helping to manage it. Rangers, I agree with Null. Agree with Null, the mulcher is misunderstood. Gain the accommodation mission, because Cordo sucks. Alright, so... accommodation mission. Cool. So that's what we're doing. We're doing that. All right, so the accommodation mission says you've agreed to help Spirit Speaker Null investigate the caustic mulcher's purpose in the ecosystem. Explore the Woodlands Valerie, so we already have one out. When a Ranger's token is removed from a caustic mulcher, place it on this card. It cannot be moved from here by the mulcher's effects. At any point, the group can choose to change their mind and help Cordo instead. If they do, remove all Ranger tokens from this card and flip it, replace accommodation with intervention on the campaign tracker. When we have all Ranger tokens on there, we do it. So let's go for our mission. Sugar. There we go. Copy, gain the accommodation mission, paste, add. Okay. All right, so we got that mission, and we got this lovely thing, the gauze blade. So it's tech. I don't need it, but another ranger would. Add harm to a being equal to your effort. If you fail, suffer one injury equal to the being's presence. Oof. All right, so we'll put that in our potential upgrade stack. We just need to get caught by this thing. So to do that, if there's another active being, exhaust it and attach it to the, if not, move your token. Okay, so we need to exhaust everybody. If there's an active predator, exhaust it. Add harm to this being equal to that predator's presence. So I need to, do I just need to clear y'all, basically? Because I have to exhaust you all to be able to get my token pushed on here. You're not taking my pet. Of the Gauss cannon, yeah. So, Derek, you just want to the mulch as a pet. I do. If I could get a pet, like I even asked Andrew Navarro, I was like, I want to build a pet deck, man. I want all pets. And he just said, All right, so this is gonna be tough. This is gonna be really, really tough. Because if there's another active being, exhaust it and attach it to the biomeld. If not, move your token here. We can get her caught to it, and then we could try to get caught to it. So let's do this. I don't want to lose quiet. Let's put Pakoto out first. Do this. Put Pakoto out. Put 2 on him. This could be bad. This could be bad, but we're going to try it. We're going to try it. We're going to do a one-on-one test to give the puppy a scratch behind the ears. That's a 0 with a mountain. No mountains to harm us, so it's just a wasted turn. We're going to try to exhaust you. Actually, let's add some Reclaimer Mucus to you, which will take your presence down by 2. And we'll stop there. Steve. Steve. I will find you. Oh my gosh, what? No. So we'll do that. We'll end this off, put this back to 2. Draw a card, ready up everything. Draw another card, which is the Hanging Gardens. Perfectly fine. Perfectly fine. We will exhaust the being, add progress state equals to the number of exhausted beings. I think that's Quiet's bit. That's what we want to do. So we'll do you to exhaust you and put 2 progress on you. I just have to get all my pets exhausted. Then do this, tick it down to 1 to make this a 4. And I don't have any aid cards to build up, so nothing big. Then we'll do ancestral teachings to exhaust a being. So I'll put 2 progress on you because it's the one that's along the way. Because I'm not trying to clear you either. Or within reach, sorry, not along the way. Okay. Then we need to give the puppy a scratch. Ooh. 2 on 1. 2 on 1, 2. If there's an active predator, you're not a predator. Add 1 harm to each being attached to this biomeld, each ranger with their token. Okay, so nobody. Cool. This is working. This is working. Cool. Then we will exhaust to exhaust you. All right, then we're just going to start doing tests and put 2 progress on you. All right, let's see if we can get ourselves caught in this thing. So we'll do what do I want to do? What do I want to do? I need to do something. Let's remember our training. 1-on-1. 1-to-1. That's a 0. Draw a card. Got the Parathraxis whistle. There's nobody attached to this, so we're okay. Then we're going to do a 1-to-1 for Pakoto. There it is. So 1-to-1 for Pakoto, so you go to 2. You'll get 2 on you. Then this says, if there's another active being, there is not, exhaust it. If not, move your token to the biomeld. Sweet. Now we just need to get off the biomeld and we're good. All right, so we have to rest ourselves free, which we're going to do for a, because it says when a is removed from the caustic mulcher. So we're going to do a 3. Let's make it a 4, just to be sure. 4 on 2. 4 on 2. Hooah. So we go on the card. Mountain. If there's an active human, there is not. So this says, have all your tokens on here to read 1.40. Yay! You yelp despite yourself as you feel the mulcher's tongue grab you. Oh, God. From a brief, hideous moment, you feel the acid start to burn your skin, even though the thick layer of broodleaf paste you coated yourself with beforehand. Then the mulcher spasms a bit as it tastes the paste and drops you back to the ground, slimy but alive. Nal rushes over from where she's been hiding behind a rock. That proves it, she gasps with excitement. The caustic mulchers don't eat everything. They seem to avoid living plants, or at least she runs her fingers through the paste on your skin and flips it onto the ground. Flips, should be flick. Something that tastes like a plant. And since only the weaker or sicker animals tend to be grabbed by it, the mulcher does clean the land of the dead, dying, or rotting. Though it is a biomeld, it's merged into the ecosystem. She hugs you, then pulls back as she remembers you're covered in broodleaf paste and stinging mucus. Oh yes, we should get you washed. Complete the accommodations missions and write understood the mulcher. Paste. Understood the mulcher. Okay. On the campaign tracker, each ranger, I don't have any fatigue to suit. After you clean yourself up, you get to thinking, there are several infamous mega predators throughout the valley. You remember in your training that some of the elders want to see these predators eliminated to keep people in the rest of the valley safe. Maybe it's worth investigating them too, in case understanding them demonstrates a way to coexist. Maybe you can befriend them. You should talk to the elders of the various villages to learn more. Would you like to know more? So this gets finished. And I think we're probably going to get to the point of stopping. Yeah, we're going to get to the point of stopping. Let's do one more round for travel, and that's where we're going to go. So everybody's happy. All right. Draw a card. Still sketchbook. Overgrown thicket. Okay, so you are going to move up here. take this to 6. You are going to go down to 1. Take this to 8. I'm going to exhaust my ability to use quiet to hit for 2, so he's exhausted. 3, sorry. She is exhausted. And then we're going to befriend it to get rid of it for a 4, for a 5, 5 on 3. 0, cleared. Mountain, discard 1 from this feature. Nope. If there's an active human, there is. So if there's an active human, exhaust them, add 1 progress to them and 1 harm to this feature. So that puts you at 3. This feature takes 1 harm. You are cleared for 45. Understand the mulcher time. 45. Spirit speaker, no. I didn't speak with spirit. Just did this. And we're going to do helping hand. You can come with us. So clear all progress from her. She wants to go to Kodo Market. We kind of knew that one already. So we're going to grab helping hand and put it on her to make her persistent. And then this goes here, these go there. We're going to traverse that feature for a 3 on 1. 4, clear. Mountain, if there's an active human, there is. Exhaust it, put progress. 3, which clears him. And he is Cordo. And he is cleared with progress. And we do have another help in hand. So, like I said, we're just kind of burning through the fun here. We only have 2 help in hand missions, so you 2 youngsters are coming with me. Okay. Other than that, my good friends, we're going to do an awareness test to eat. It'll just add 1 harm to the feature. Oh, it's a feature, but I can't add this to it. I can't afford it. Let's do our bit here to remember our training. 1 on 1, -2. There's no active predator. We're fine. And this gets reshuffled. And I think let's do our travel away test on the next round, and we will leave Lone Tree Station to head into the woods, and that's where we'll end our play. So let's do this. Ready up. We got quiet. Let's see, we just drew. Ready up. Gain this, this, and that. Draw a card. Hi, Pimpot. I know what he wants, but he came out at the wrong time. Let's go ahead and do what we need to do. So he is friendly, but you are not. But so we are going to traverse for a 4 on 1. We're going to fatigue a card because of the Hanging Gardens. 4 on 1, 5, which is enough. Cress. There's no active predators. And we will travel. Dan, thank you so much for the super chat. Merry Christmas to my favorite table-born ranger. Merry Christmas. All right, and we will travel, and that will end Earthborne Rangers. We will travel. It will camp and end the day as our ranger sets out onto more bright adventures to see what else is in the valley after Valen's harrowing movement. So, and we'd be moving to... We'd go to White Sky. So let's travel to White Sky and end the day there. and camp. All right. There it is. All right, so that is Earthborne Rangers. So time to do our review. It's time to do our review. We've played through the story. We beat the game. And I need to take this in stride. So let's pack these up here. And pack these up. Achievement unlocked, game completion. All right, so let's talk about this game bit by bit. I'm gonna go around the board and then I'll give you an overall review of it. Okay, so let's start off with decks, with the deck building aspect. There are people who play this game who are really, really good at deck building. There are people who play LCGs who are really, really good at deck building. I think this game has huge potential to hit that mark. One of the things that people talk about in terms of the game type, a lot of people are comparing this to Arkham Horror. I don't think it's like Arkham Horror. I think it's like Lord of the Rings. There's, someone will say, well, you have this map that you walk around on, so it's not Lord of the Rings. Yeah, but it has aspects. It's not trying to be Lord of the Rings, but it has aspects of Lord of the Rings in it. That being said, I love that card games give you options with cards. There are abilities that you have at the bottom, and there's things that you could commit to at the side. You've seen this with other LCGs. This is the same. What I also love about this game in terms of the deck building is that you can pretty much build it any way you want. You have, pull these out here. You have a large swath of aspects that you can choose from. So it's not, my aspect that I chose was a 2-2-3-1 because I remember the book said if you're going to play solo, you should have at least 3 fitness. But you have options with 3 fitness, right? Yep, those are options. So instead, I could have gone more focus-based. I could have done less awareness, but somewhere it would... So you have options to pick on what type of buildup that you want with 3 fitness. You have the same thing with 2 if you're playing multiplayer. A lot more options, actually. And then so these are all the aspects that you can pick, right? These are all the ones that you can pick. Based on what you choose, you build your deck that way. You can't... for instance, if I choose an aspect that has 1 fitness, I can't put Homeward Bound in it because I'll never be able to play it because it costs 2 fitness. So it's trying to tailor the deck to what you need. I like this option. The only thing that I would the pro, lots of variability in how you want to build your deck and how you want to construct things. So that's the pro, right? If you can build for instance, there is a huge rewards deck, and I'm not going to show everything, but this is the rewards deck right here. I'm not going to flip it over for people who don't want spoilers on what's in it if they haven't looked yet. But all these are available for you to find in the game. I didn't find all of these. I only found some, so there was the question about replayability. Finding all of these and getting all of them unlocked for other Rangers. What's really cool is that when you unlock it, if you're playing multiplayer, when you unlock a new reward, it unlocks for everyone. So everyone gets to deck build the way that they want, not just one person. Cool. All right. Aspects. So this gives a lot of replayability and a lot of variety in your deck building strategy that you want to get going. The deck starts off with some basic cards that you will want to get rid of. Meticulous is cool for traveling, but there are other... Oh my gosh, I got that glare. But there are other cards that are better than this that you can continually upgrade your deck and deck build when you camp. You can camp at any time as long as you have the ability to do so. It will end your day, but you can do that. So the aspect cards build a lot of, to me, a lot of variety in terms of deck building. So it's not just, oh yeah, I'm going to build this ultimate deck that is just going to smash the game to bits. It's no, how do I build the ultimate deck with the limitation of the aspects that I have? I just finished and feel like there's a lot of things I didn't do in the game, in addition to wanting to try different decks. Exactly. There's lots of replayability in here, and this is just the base. This is 1.0. This is 1.0. Changing only your deck. How would you feel about playing the same game, making the same narrative decisions? I think that changing your deck will change up the narrative decisions that you can do in a way. In a way. There are ways that, to answer this question, Steve, there are ways that for me, I had a pet deck, which was Pakoto and Oru, which basically gave me 4 progress every turn. 4 on a being. So to me, clearing beings was easy. If I didn't have them because I went with a 1 spirit aspect and I couldn't have them, then I had to do something else, which could change the narrative. So instead of befriending the Caustic Mulcher or befriending Quiet, I might have to kill Quiet. So which would change the story. So there is, I don't think you get, I think that there are times where you will make the same decision, but there are times where you can't. So the game will follow on rails until it can't, and then you have to make a different decision. So I'll say that, and I'm not going to say that that's it for everything, right? Someone will say, no way, I could do the same thing, it doesn't matter. I think there will come a few moments in your playthrough where you can't make the same decision. So you will have to take a different path. And I like that, personally. So hopefully that answers that question. Ask a question if you all have questions. You're all on here. If you have questions, ask away as I'm going through this, and I can stop and talk about it. But for people who don't know how to deck build, are not good at it, I'll raise my hand. I'm terrible at it. You can just grab a starter deck and then refine it to the deck that you want as you play the game. So you don't have to be a good deck builder to play this game. There are things that benefit you if you are, but you don't have to. And that's what makes it fun. What is the next deck I want to try? I don't know. I got so used to my pets. Probably a more complex deck like the Shaper, probably. But I don't know. I've seen other people playing the Shaper, so I would want to try a deck no one else tried. That's probably what it would be. Like, I've seen, and that's hard. That's hard to say. The game's been delivered. Everybody's tried every deck, but I've seen a lot of people playing Shapers, so I'd want to play something else and see how that goes. Even if you make the same decision, I think the deck will play differently, and your approach. Yes, exactly. You played a Forager Shaper? Yeah, I would play something else. I would look at different videos and say, okay, nobody's played this, and I'd play that just for funsies. But I mean, I've enjoyed this deck. I think like refining it has been helpful. I had that one card. What was it? The Intention Thinker. It was useless to me, and I called it. I should have called it earlier, but when I got the Scuttler Tunnel, I got rid of it. I got rid of it. So, but at that time, now every single card in this deck is useful to me. I have my combo, my engine that I have to set up that is based around my deck, which is my animal deck. So having the animals out makes my deck just flow, but getting them out could be a challenge because they're buried in the deck. So that's one thing to keep in mind. So deck building, I enjoy it. I think there's a lot of potential. This is a 1.0. I think one of the big things I've heard people complain about this game, one of the many, but that I will defend, is I've heard people say things like, the deck is like too, it's too limiting or something. And I was like, that's the beauty of the game. It's supposed to be limiting. You're not supposed to be able to build God mode. Figure out the puzzle with your aspects and build out what you need. Another thing people would say is the game is it doesn't punish you enough, because they like Arkham, right? Where you pull from a chaos bag and 9 times out of 10 you're going to fail. This game is not that. It's not set out to be Arkham. It's set out to be an easy, fun, relaxing walk through a story. It never said it was trying to be hard, so stop looking for it to be. If you want a challenging game that punishes you, play something else. I, for one, enjoyed it. The artwork, exquisite. Beautiful artwork on these cards. Well distributed, should I say. Also, since this is the 1.0 of this game, just keep in mind that it's not going to be on the same level as Lord of the Rings or Arkham yet, in terms of what's been released. Those games have been in flow for years, so there's been thousands of cards that have been released for those games. This game is just getting started. It's a really great outing on its first play. It's a lot of fun to see like how things function and flow. And I believe if the development team at Earthborne Games continues this game, which I hope they do, I think that they're going to rival those titles, because this game is just, there's a lot more story to tell. I don't know if you saw in the if you're watching this video, you've watched the playthrough. So I don't know if you've seen this or saw this as we were reading through the story, but they kept talking about people coming from outside the valley. And to me, that means expansion, right? Expansion of new zones to explore. This is a world that they're building. This is just one location in that world on an entire planet that needs to get built out. So there's more biomes for them to do. You know, there could be an ice one, a lava one. There could be so many different biomes for them to use that this game has potential expandability, like huge potential expandability. So that, I think, is what's great. I heard that encountering the same path decks all the time is boring. I feel like designers hear this kind of stuff and have ideas. I'm excited to see where they go. I didn't think it was boring. I don't think there was ever a time in this playthrough at all where I was bored reshuffling the same deck. I think a lot of people are probably get into the mindset of, let's build up one big deck and play through that big deck and let that be that, instead of every single time I go to a new location, I gotta shuffle a new deck of cards. It's a good problem to have, okay? There's a lot worse problems. I don't want to negate your experience, but there's a lot worse problems in the world than you having to shuffle a deck. So I don't think that it's boring. I on the contrary, I think that the new things that we encounter are fun. The only thing, I never found the canoe, so I never got to use the river path deck. I don't know where it is. I have no clue. Aside of Alex, where the cultists are. An expansion will be part of the reprint. No, they are reprinting and they're building the Ranger decks. They're adding more cards to the Ranger decks. I don't believe there is an expansion that's coming, but we could take a look at the GameFound page. Actually, let's go look at it now. I don't think that there is there's an expansion for it. GameFound. And let's do get this out, and we'll do Earthborne Rangers. I think it's just Ranger decks. I don't think it's anything new, other than more Ranger decks. So it's a reprint of the game. Second printing, Earthborne's customizable, blah, 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 blah. The second printing of the core game will incorporate rule clarifications and corrections, as well as other improvements to the production. Yeah, and I know that it's doing that, so it's doing those clarifications, and it's adding Stewards of the Valley, a Ranger card expansion. So the Stewards of the Valley adds new Rangers backgrounds, new specialty sets, and it deepens the card pools of each of the backgrounds and specialty sets of the core game, giving you more options for creation. So you're getting more Ranger cards, which, right, deck building. We got Legacy of the Ancestor. Okay, so they are at, yep, you're right, Jen, you're right. Of course I'm all in, Steve. So, continue your Ranger's adventures as you journey beneath this, but you're in the valley still, and uncover the secrets of the ancient Estian archaeology. So Legacy of the Ancestors is the campaign expansion that moves past where we are. So that's that. New playmats, which I'll be getting. New deluxe tokens, I'm getting those too. And more. So that's what's coming. So it's more valley. So it looks like it's more valley expansions. So it's more expansions in valley. We're not going outside of it. That'll be a bigger expansion. But we are getting, this is the big thing for them though. Like this might be a lighter story, like a little bit more side activities and rewards and stuff. But this is their big thing, the Stewards of the Valley, where you're going to get more Ranger cards. Like I said, the LCG life, right? So that's what's building out. What did I miss? Oh, hey, Andrew, what's going on? Encountering those path cards repeatedly is important. You need to learn those cards to plan your strategy for traversing the valley. My biased opinion, obviously. We'll be updating the GameFound page very soon. Cool. Yeah, I like how you approach deck building. I do like that. I like that. Since you're on here, I'm also going to talk about the cons too. But I'm sticking with just walking through things of the things that we're stepping around deck building right now. I like how you approach deck building because you're like, okay, what's your aspect? What's your trait? What's your personality? And from there, you build a deck. And then what type of ranger do you want to be? So I like that instead of, hey, here's 1,000 cards. Good luck, sucker. So I enjoy that a lot. There's also the Arkham thing where each scenario is different cards. I didn't feel bored, but I might want some variety. Nah, I don't mind it, but I see your point. Yeah, Legacy of the Ancestors is the one that does it. Yep. So the big question is, are you all in? I will be getting the update, the expansion. I sure will be backing it. I enjoy the game. I think it's fun. Locator Zach, he's the one that got me into it, so I think I think it's a fun game. I never did any trading, but other people did a lot. Yeah, knowing the path sets helps with how to build your deck when you can't. Yep. I've grown to really like the small sets of Ranger cards that you can combine. Yeah, I like that. I like those as well. I think that's great. Okay. All right, so let's move this to the side. We talked about the happy-go-lucky decks that we have to build things out. Let's talk about the challenge deck. This is cool. There's no dice, so I will not always roll a 1. However, I will always pull the sun symbol in bad weather, which is equivalent to rolling a 1. But I do like this. At first, I wasn't sure how I would feel about these cards. The combinations are there, right? Because there's a reshuffle on Crest. There should be a reshuffle on Sun, and there should be a reshuffle on... Do you have a reshuffle on Mountain? Oh, there's no reshuffle on Mountain. I thought there would be. Huh. Probably might want to fix that and have a reshuffle on Mountain or something. But to me, I like this instead of... It's like that weird Gloomhaven-y feel, where it's +1, -1, or 0. So it's that feel to it instead of rolling dice or pulling from a bag or some other trick that you have to do it. I actually like the modifier approach. It's just a modifier deck. It's a modifier. It's either you're going to pass it or you won't, and then you have to deal with the consequences of your modifier. So I really like this. Like, I think this is I think this was a smart idea for a challenge deck for a game that's supposed to be fun. Right? Not for a game this game is not trying to be punishing, but just trying to be fun. So I think this is a good addition to this game. So there's really not much to say on that. The path decks. 2/2, lone tree. Besides me messing up, besides me completely messing up I think twice in my entire playthrough on when to put in pivotal locations and when not, the path deck wasn't bad. I don't mind the different locations. I'm actually excited to see different locations. There was only one location that I did not like the path deck to, and that was the alluvial ruins. Like, I didn't like it. I didn't like, let me take 3 decks and combine them together, and then also have a ruins deck to where I'm going between the 2 decks. I didn't dig it. And that's okay. It's you know, some people may enjoy it because I get its purpose. I get that everything from the valley flowed down there, so you would see stuff. The problem that I had with it was there were ambush cards in there. So, and you have a huge potential to pull ambush cards in a deck that already has bad things in it. So it just became weird to me for that location. Other than that, I think that it was fine, that the path cards are fine. I would like to see more locations, and we will. Somehow one day I will find the canoe. I don't know where it is, but that's in terms of the path. And I could pull, I'll zoom out so you can see the full table. So there you go. There's the full table. So we have, don't fall. There we go. All right. This is from eRaptor for people. Everyone's asking me, where do I get these from? This is from eRaptor. I wouldn't recommend it unless you like to wait a long time for your stuff. So, but this is the path deck. These are the locations that came upon here. So there are 8 of them that come in the base game. Ravine, Old Growth, Lakeshore, Swamp, Mountain Pass, Woods, River, and Grassland. I've seen all but the river deck. I have not seen the river deck at all, but there looks to be a bear there, so that's scary. There's a lot of stuff here that I would love to see, but I haven't found the canoe yet, so I don't know. I don't know. But that is that. That is that part of the path deck. The other part of the path deck is the pivotal locations deck. So you've got Lone Tree Station, all the different pivotal locations on the map. You've got those all here that you have to. What I wished is that there would be dividers for these as well. Otherwise, I got to lump them all together, and then I got to search through this stuff. It's a you know, a privilege problem, right? In terms of saying, oh, I'm so sorry that you have to look through a set of cards to find something. Honestly, it's like my annoyance with that is at a 0.00001%. It's just, I wish there were dividers for it. That's all. We have the general deck, which I think we went through. Nope. There are 3 cards we didn't see in that deck. We saw everything else other than 3 cards. But those 3 probably would have come up had I played the story a different way. And then the villagers, you happen to them along the way, and I think that's cool. So I like that along the way you can run into anything. You could run into things that suck. You can run into things that are helpful. You could run into things that want to eat your face. Or you can run into someone who wants to help you, or you help them. I actually like that a lot. I think that's a lot of... I think the path deck is one of my favorite parts of the game, because it's just so... It's varied. In there, there's some variety. So I think that's there. And then the lingering injuries, I will get to that. So path cards, yay, good time. So you're hearing a lot of pluses from me so far, and you're like, well, you're supposed to be talking about the negatives too. My negative on the path cards is some of the path cards. For example, and let me zoom back in here. Grassland. And I told Andrew about this. The Whispering Field. I think Steve said it best when he said, I don't like things that I can't do anything about. So my build has, once you hit meadow, my build is not built for the Whispering Fields. So therefore it's not, it's how I built the deck, but even my aspect set doesn't really set well to how this thing works. My negative is this card of the path deck. One card out of all the other cards that are on there. So let's start off with that. I don't want people to think, oh, well, you're just complaining about this. I'm telling you, out of all the path cards, out of ravine, old growth, lakeshore, swamp, mountain pass, woods, and grasslands, of the things that I've encountered, this one card I think needs revising. I think it needs revising for solo play. The reason being is because you can never clear this card. Or let me not say never. Let me take that back. You can almost probably, I'd probably say 75% of the time you can't clear this card. There's probably 25% of people who deck build a specific way to be able to deal with flora to clear this card. My pet deck cannot clear this card at all. There is no, if you look on it, there is no progress to progress through the card. It's just there. And when you encounter this card at Meadow, it comes in immediately with 4 presents. So it comes in with 4 presents, right? 2 cards underneath it, and it doubles each card's for the present. So it comes in with 4 presents, and you have to spend your awareness to draw those cards out to make it 0. But guess what? As soon as the next round starts, it's back +2 presents. So this thing has the potential to spiral way out of control to where you will have to exhaust a ton of your deck to be able to get through it. There's no true way around it. I could, and here's with my deck. I could use surveyed lands, or I could use... I found Old Clicker, so the Scuttler Tunnel became an option. And then there's the Reclaimer Mucus. So, if I use surveyed lands, I would have to, every round, this would be a chase where this won't work. Because it comes in with 1 marker. So this is at 4, right? Let's say it's at 4. This comes in with 1 marker, which knocks it down to 3. All right, well, I use Pakoto, knocks it down to 2. All right, I re-up the next round. A new card comes up, adds 2 back. So now it's back to 4. I use Pakoto, it's down to 3. Next round, it's up to 5. Surveyed lands cannot do this. It can't negate this card. So let's put that up. We've got Reclaimer Mucus. Attached to a path card reduces the card's presence by 2. Cool. So this comes in with 4. It reduces it by 2. Next round, it's back to 4. Because it just reduces by 2 where it would be 6. Now it's back to 4. In 1 round. So that knocks this card out. Then we come to the Scuttler Tunnels, which says, when you perform a test, if your token is on this, add 1 harm to it to dodge each card in the same area as this card. So I would have to put this feature along the way with the Whispering Fields, and then I would have to take damage to it every round I need to do something. So let's say we're trying to... Let's go to Meadow. Because Meadow is a... Meadow's a 4, not a 3. So I do my check. I draw a -2. 1 harm on this. I was able to bypass this to do it. Didn't suffer anything. Do it again. I fail. Circumstantial, right? Do it again. The card collapses. I take an injury, and now this card's ultra powerful. Situational. This is situational, right? It could work, but it's situational. And if you draw this 1 card where the other 2 really won't do anything. So I get where the developers were going with this card. I just think it's too rough for solo play. Like, there has to be something, right? To me, if it had 1 presence instead of 2, that's more doable. Like, for solo play, instead of X having 2 presents, it has 1. Just that alone would be okay. Well, I could deal with each card being 1 instead of 2. Otherwise, it just compounds and gets hard. And there's my con. 1 card out of the entire path deck. So great job, devs. A great job on creating a really good path deck. Is just, I think this card needs to be relooked at. That's all. That's all I'm saying. I mean, I know you can agree to disagree. It's your game. You don't have to do it. I think you have a great game. It's just, this is my problem with the path deck. This 1 card. Everything else is fine. Everything else is fine. The Cyclone is fine, right? Because the Cyclone, its strength gains, but its strength doesn't increase its presence. So therefore, its presence stays 2. So there are ways around the presence. There's just the strength of it that hurts you stays around longer by the strength it gains, but its presence never changes, and that's what makes it okay. That's what makes it good. The Tenebrae, this thing, presence is always 2. This thing moves around and stops you from doing other things, but its presence is always 2. So therefore, it's manageable. It's manageable. This thing is just it can spiral out of control, and unless you're like, I'm not staying here when this card comes out, I'm leaving immediately and going to fatigue X number of cards, this thing can shut your entire day down. And that's why I don't like it. So, 1 card. So that's my problem with the path deck. 1 card. Just keep that in mind. Out of every other cards that are on there, 1 card. Let's move to weather. Weather is amazing. I think it's I probably need some help understanding. Oh, did something happen? Am I still good? Why is that not showing? Oh, here we go. I was like, why is that not showing? Last video, you had a rough couple days. Did you still have fun? Yes, I did. I did. Maybe the journey is meant to be a struggle. I don't mind that the journey is a struggle. I just don't want 1 card to shut me down. That's it. I shouldn't be like, okay, I can't do anything, and it's going to get worse. So I might as well just kill the day, start a new day. Oh, wait, it's got 4 presents. Let's begin this again, right? And this time I don't have my because the day's ended, I don't have my stuff to try to even remotely. I have to hope I draw it. I just think it needs to be looked at. Weather cards. I actually like how these function. I think it's downpour. We didn't see clinging mists or electric fog. We didn't get to those. But these 3 cards actually, they weren't bad. I hated this card, but I hated it in a good way, right? I hated this card in a good way. I think it was well done. I think it was pretty how the sun, but what I'm noticing is that there's a lot of sun symbols on here. And when you flip them over, there's still more sun symbols. And I'm assuming because sun, weather, makes sense. But only one of them has a crest. An impassable barrier does seem out of character for the rest of the game. Yeah, that's how I feel. After run, friends. Hope you all have a wonderful day. Merry Christmas to those. Merry Christmas, Jen. Hope have a wonderful day. The weather cards, I think, are fun. I wonder what they plan to do with more. I know a lot of it's the sun symbol, which makes sense. But I don't mind them. I think this was a nice addition to add complexity to this game. I think that's what this does. And so I like that this did it. I prayed for a perfect day, but there were very few and far between perfect days. There was a lot of downpours, howling winds, that it rained in this valley, which it does in a valley, so it makes sense. But if we look at our campaign set here, in our playthrough of 19 days, we had 2 perfect days, 3 downpours, and 2 howling winds. Then we would have one more perfect day, well, two more perfect days, and then downpour and howling. So it's evenly distributed. It's evenly distributed. These I like because they add challenge to the game. Right? Things get a little bit worse. I didn't see Clinging Miss, so I don't know when we're gonna do this card. Electric Fog. That sounds fun. Yup. Yeah, I agree. The only thing about weather is that you always forget how to. Maybe that's because of its location, but you just have to get in the habit of being like, I drew a card, resolve the effect, then just start up on this side and go this way, and this way. And that's what I started to get in the habit of doing, like resolve my effect and then deal with everything else. So that the worst thing about it is that you forget it, but that's not bad. That's the weather works. The weather works. Locations. These are all the locations we went and visited in this game. These are the locations we did not visit in this game. Replayability. The locations are fun. They're a lot of fun. And they give you, here's an example of a location that doesn't trap you or become an obstacle to where you cannot pass it. And it's one that actually Andrew Navarro pointed out that I could have done that I didn't. But I still got out of there even though I didn't, so I had options. Where are you? Nope. This one. This card. You have to put your token on here to leave. The only way you can leave this is to practice that focus test. For a 4, I have 1 focus. So immediately I was like, I can't get out of here. But I could, because it says you may discard up to 2 progress from this location to commit an equal amount of effort, which means I can still traverse this location and add effort to it. It doesn't count towards me leaving, and I can use 2 of that effort to equal the amount of effort to leave on the focus test. So here is one where there is an obstacle, right? I have 1 focus. It needs 4 for me to leave. But I can traverse with my 3 on a 3-on-2 test. Whatever I succeed by goes on that card. And then when I do this focus test with my 1, I can add 2 of those to that test to see if I can pass it. So there is a way off this mountain that works, right? So there's a way off of it, even though it looks like it's tough. Because and it's not something it's just something that's there on the cards that you get to see to do. So something like this for that Whispering Fields would go a long way. Where you can somehow just get past it. Make it an obstacle. I don't know. But these location cards are gorgeous. I love the story on the back and that there is work to be done for setup. I really enjoy that. Like how these are. I like the UX on this. I like how this stuff is set up. It looks really, really good. Art's beautiful. Everything is presented in a way that makes sense. Everything's kind of set up for you to do some good things on. So all in all, big plus. You're not hearing any minuses from me on locations. I haven't found any location that I was like, ugh, I hate this location. There was a card that I hated, but it wasn't because it made the game hard. It wasn't because it sucked. It was because it became a challenge that I needed to overcome, and that was fun. I think it was the frowning. Was it the frowning one? Good Lord. It's called the Frowning Gate. The Frowning Gate. That's the one. This one had an ability that says when a mountain's there, remove one progress from a path card if you can't suffer an injury. So just You know, it's one of those bad things, and it was like, oof, that's rough, but it was rough it was rough in a good way, right? It worked. It didn't bother me. So this is good. I enjoyed that. Nothing. I don't have any cons about this. I want more, but I don't have any cons about this. The Valley deck, or the Mission deck. There was something on here that kind of irked me a little. Was it Helping Hand? Yeah, I think it was Helping Hand. Do not add this mission to the campaign tracker. If you do not help this person before the end of the day, you lose them. I get why you did it. I just... I get why you did it, so I can't be upset about it. I'm just like, I think that's me being a curmudgeon, where I'm just like, I want all the missions, I want to complete everything, but I get why you did it, and it's easy to find them again, so it's not like it'll kill you. So this minor, and I mean minor. You know, when you talk about bugs, it's you know, critical, major, medium, and minor. This is below minor. It's just I would just like, I wanted to complete that, and that was it. But other than that, the missions were fine. They gave me a good challenge. I love the sensor network mission. I wish I could have completed it, but I do love the mission of moving around the valley, so I think it's good. And then biscuit delivery was fun. Biscuit delivery was fun. What are we talking about here? Yeah. That's true. That's true, Andrew. Yeah, I get it. I get why you did it. It's like below not a problem. The map. I love the map. This map is okay. So let's talk about this map for a second. Okay, when I played Lord of the Rings LCG, the thing that came up for me, and I always say this, I say I got to the game too late, because Arkham came out, Marvel Champions came out, which are totally different games, but I enjoyed their mechanics more. I didn't like, okay, you got to mulligan your entire hand and then redraw your hand instead of picking stuff out. But I also never felt like I got a scope of where I was, right? I mean, I've read Lord of the Rings, I've watched Lord of the Rings. So I know the map of Middle Earth, but I never got the sense, whenever I was doing location traveling, I never got the sense that I was going anywhere. I don't know if that I don't know if that makes any sense to any of you, but for me, I just never felt like I was going anywhere. Oh, no problem. Yeah, it's I never got the sense or scope that I was going anywhere with it. This is what I wish it had. This is gorgeous. I love this. I love that I see where I am in the world, right? And I'm moving through it. And it really brings out that sandbox feeling of this game. It's very well designed. Very well designed. You can actually see where things make sense on how things, like why you would have a woods path card as opposed to a ravine, as opposed to a grassland. So it makes sense, and I love how it's set up, but it gives me scale. It just gives me scale, and I need that. I know people don't need that. I know there are people who play games, other games, that don't need that visual representation to get a grasp for what they need. They use imagination and it works. This is me. This is what helps me. I love this map. I think it's a great addition. I think that giving me a scale of where I am, saying, oh, I got to go to Tumbledown. Okay, so you got to go to Tumbledown and there's no map. All right, well, do we have something that tells us where we're walking to? Well, draw this card. We'll draw this card. We'll draw this card. Okay, so at some point, we'll just wander around until we find Tumbledown. Or, we just look on a stinking map. And see, Tumbledown's down here. And then we can start planning to see how to get to Tumbledown. And I think that's what I enjoy. the map was a great addition. Um, I would probably say, Andrew, if there is potential for how do I want to put this? I gotta find out the proper way to put it. If there is potential for, I don't know, a better paper for it, like, it's gorgeous. It is beautifully illustrated. It is really well detailed. Like, I didn't really dig into the map to see. Yeah, it's all in the valley, so you see the mountains surrounding it. But is there a different type of paper that you could put this on? Or neoprene? But is there a different type of something? I would probably say look into that, because even now, right here at the edges of the map, it's starting to fray. Like, I've been opening and closing this constantly. That this is starting to fray a little bit. So maybe it could be a bonus. You know, we put it up there for people who want it to pay the cost for it. But maybe a different paper style or something for this, because I feel like this can tear, and it is actually, it's fraying right here for me. So I don't know if that's the thing for others, but maybe. Regarding neoprene, see our company's mission statement. Oh, that's right. That's right. You're going Earth conscious. Is there something? Can we put it on cardboard? Maybe that. Maybe cardboard. Or Andrew, if you're going full, Earth friendly, because you got neoprene, right? You got neoprene here. But if you're going full Earth friendly, maybe add this to the Living Valley. I don't know. I know that there's, you don't want someone stealing your work and doing stuff with it, but maybe it could go on the Living Valley. So that people can, like how we're tracking in the app, in terms of our missions, we can see this map as well. I don't know. That's natural rubber, not neoprene. Ooh. So can we have a natural rubber map? Oh yeah, I'm not letting it go. No, but I think that's I love the map. I just need it on a different paper. Something that potentially would not fray but be recyclable. And I think that's a me thing. It'd be $30. I would pay for that. Yeah, I'd pay for that. But I like the anyway. Yeah, that's me once again being like, I like the map. I think the map is a good addition. I think it's really well made. I think it's very nice. And what I want to see, because I don't know your plans for the future for this game, but what I'd love to see is that if there's a way to interconnect these maps, like if there's a way to interconnect these maps at all in the future. So here's the valley. We're moving from the valley to, usually with valleys, sorry, a little bit of a map nerd here. Usually with valleys, there's mountains that rise up, a lot of rain comes over, soaks the valley. But on the other side of those mountains, things dry out. So you get plains, right? So that could be here or here or here, wherever you're going to put them. But if we're moving into a desert locale or a dry location, then maybe something to show the connection, or a double-sided map. But I don't know. I'm just kind of curious, like if it'll form out a map of the world. Is that, or maybe not. I don't know. That is not a negative. That is not a minus. I think that's just me suggesting as a map nerd, as a cartographer. Each campaign will have its own map, but I have a dream of creating a digital version where there's just a massive map that can... Oh, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Yes. Matt, beautiful. Great work. We went through the different Rangers. No, we didn't. Different Rangers. Backgrounds. Traveler. Starter deck. Specialties. Where are the different Rangers? Did I lose them? Those are my unlock cards. I put there. It's not background. It's not specialty. Oh, yes, it is. It is specialty. Here they are. So your ranger stats. So the elder. Boop. Boop. Boop, boop. So if you want to play a ice hurting shaper, you've got two choices. I wonder, for your reprint. Oh no, two people might want to be shapers. Never mind. Never mind. I was gonna say if you were gonna double side these, but if two people are like, I want to be a shaper, you have to do it that way. So two shapers, two explorers, two conciliators, and two artificers. So you've got 1, 2, 4, 6, 8 choices of variety in terms of characters to play in the base game. You get to choose who you want, and each one comes with their own special ability. They're not all the same. We've got the adherent of the first ideal, scout 1 challenge card, just exhaust the scout. Choose a manifestation in your discard and add it to your hand, getting stuff back. Spend 1 energy to add 1 token to attack. I've seen Zach play that. Ready attack card, my favorite, reduce presence to 0. Spend 1 energy to add 1 token to an aid card. When you perform a test, dodge 1 card for free. And move your token to a feature. That feature fatigues you. But you get to but instead of saying I need to test to move it to the zip line, I just go to the zip line and take 1 fatigue. Or, well, fatigue for presence, sorry. But I would take fatigue to go to the zip line, then traverse and go away. So you've got options of different ones to do. Just putting that out there. So you are explorers. My lovely, lovely Guardian's a conciliator. I like the Guardian, to be honest. You are an artificer. And you two are shapers. So you've got options. You've got options where one person, if two people want to play a conciliator, they can. And they can build their decks completely differently. So it's not one person's a conciliator, so it works. And the roll art is really good on here. Rules. I love this. One of the things I know that I forgot someone was telling me was they said that they felt that they had a wasted turn where they couldn't really do much if their deck didn't allow for it. This changes that. This says no, you always have something to do. You could draw a card. You could connect with a being to add progress. You can traverse something. You can exhaust a being if they're in your way. I think very rarely there was a turn where I was like, I can't do anything. Oh, all right, Andrew. Yeah, no problem. I had a great time with it. Thank you for joining. So I think that works. Round structure, pretty straightforward. I think we've gone through everything. So overall, my feeling of the game. Let's head back up to the top and talk about that, because I think we've gone through everything at the table. So overall, my feeling of the game, I liked it. I would like to play more. There's so much of the valley I haven't seen. When the expansion comes out, I plan to roll up a new ranger and begin that journey to play through whatever the expansion content is that's being added. So this is basically, this deck's, sunset. And then we'll start off with a new one that's there. Overall, great game. I think it's a lot of fun. Is it worth the money? I think so. But it's worth the money if you like sandbox games. If you enjoy a sandbox game, you will like this game. If you enjoy exploration, you will like this game. If you want to if you're looking for the type of difficulty that comes from hardcore games that the game is actively beating you down and you love it because for some reason you love it, this is not the game for you. It is meant to be leisurely. It is meant to be relaxing. It's meant to be fun. It's meant to be just kind of an easy go through play. You will still be challenged by this game because it's a puzzle that you have to figure out. However, it's just, it is what it is, right? It is what it is. So this game is for you if you like sandbox games. Games that are like Explore It, Eldritch Horror. It's another sandboxy game. You just wander around. Yeah, if you like any of those style of games in terms of where it's just pure sandbox, Mage Knight is the sandboxy game where you just wander around and do stuff. Those difficulties levels vary, but this is that type of game where it's just you walk around, there is a story, there are things happening in the valley, but you could choose not to deal with them if you don't want to and see what the outcome is. That would actually be a fun playthrough. I don't care about anything. I'm just walking around as a ranger and see what happens. But I think overall I think it's worth the money. I enjoyed it immensely. It's staying in my collection. I happily await the upcoming expansion that'll come out. We'll add more. We'll spin up a new ranger and we'll go through and see how that plays. But overall, worth the money. Definitely would get it. I do have the lower play mat that's coming in, but more will be made available in the game found that launches in June. So if this is something that it strikes your fancy or you want to play, give it a shot and see how it goes. That's gonna be it. That is gonna be it. I am going to clean this game off the table and then begin to learn Sleeping Gods. Because I've never played Sleeping Gods before, so that's next on the docket. So we'll see how that goes. I'll cancel the other video because we completed the game and I've given you my review. But other than that, it was a good play. Yeah. I hope you enjoyed this playthrough. Earthborne Rangers. I will come back to it. I plan to play it off the table, but I will come back to it when the expansion drops and we'll start up on new ranger and continue on with our adventure. I do want to see what the rest of that rewards deck has in it that could be helpful, and we'll see how it shapes up from there. Cool. All right, so what's coming up? I don't know. I know I'm breaking for the holiday, and then I'll be back on the 27th to play something. I just don't know what. It'll probably be if I can learn Sleeping Gods by that time, then it'll probably be that. Distant Skies. I'm not playing the first Sleeping Gods. So, but it'll be Distant Skies that I'll learn, and we'll bring that to the channel and try it out. That's all I got, but we'll figure it out. And I'll get something scheduled. Thank you so much, Andrew and the Earthborne Games, for creating such a fantastic game. I thoroughly enjoyed its playthrough. The cons on it were super low. So I think it's a winner it's a slam dunk for me. Yeah. It may not be for you, and that's okay, but it was a winner for me for sure. Okay, so I will see y'all next week, Thursday. I want everybody to have a safe holiday. Those who celebrate, have a safe and happy holiday season with your loved ones, or just be safe and happy. Other than that, I will see you all next week as we begin a new game of some sort, and we'll keep it going from there. I love you, and there's absolutely nothing you can do about it. Bye, everybody.